All right, we're good to go, guys. I got a notification. That means we're rolling. Hello and welcome to my Cowboys family. This is a Wednesday night. We're about to play the Oakland Raiders come Sunday, and there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Let's see here, guys. This is rolling through here. If anyone's out there, let's see, guys, because this will be on the replay. Let me see if I have audio. Yeah, we do. All right, guys. What's up, Christopher Clayton? How you doing? I'll let some people get in here. Amy can fly. How you doing? Thanks up. Big thanks to the mods helping us out. How's the sound? Is the sound okay? Let me know, guys. If you can hear me, say yes. Don't forget, hit like, hit subscribe, and of course, hit that notification bell so you get these. Let me see. All right, we're good to go, guys. Yep. Okay, good. So, guys, we are now rolling. We got getting up into the double digits here, hopefully in a minute. Let me jump right to the news. As Fiance reported earlier today, there was, the David Irving injury, concussion from last week. There was the Dan Bailey issue. Thank you, Christopher Clayton. I appreciate that. Cowboy X Factor, how you doing, man? I know 18 subs away. Thank you. Special thanks to Cowboys X Factor because his Twitter page is pretty well known and followed. So guys, check that out and follow him there. He got a couple of subs through his Twitter account. So thank you so much, man, for advertising your page and having us as a sponsor. We appreciate it. And guys, definitely check out Cowboy X Factor's page as well. How about them Cowboys? Various names he goes by. Yeah. Well, some personal questions in the Q&A will probably still be, reeled in a little bit. Some things we probably can't talk about, but for the most part, we'll try to answer everything we can, guys. Now, let me go right to the news. David Irving, as my fiance said, did not practice today, but he did work out with athletic trainers on the sideline, and that's a great sign. The fact that the probability is he's going to play. That's my personal opinion. Now we have Skandrick, as we know, he had the back injury, broken bones, I guess, in his back. I don't know how you'd really classify it other than a back injury, but he's going to do a little bit. He did a little practice today. He did get out in the field, almost limited, I would even say, but pretty much he's not going to fully practice until probably tomorrow, hopefully at the earliest. Now, I'm not a big fan of Skandrick. I really don't mind if he's the third or fourth guy. So, but if he's there and he's healthy enough to play, the Cowboys either will do one of two things. They will either play Skandrick as a starter, and which would demote, the crew, however you want to do it, whether it's Lewis or Awuzie, which means Xavier Woods get less chance at corner. You'll go back to the Byron Jones occasionally coming up playing corner, and Anthony Brown as like the fourth. So that would be one thing, or just because he's still fresh off the injury in his back, maybe he'll take it a little easier. That'll kind of chill him out as far as his veteran rep, I guess, ego, whatever you want to call it. So maybe they'll say we still want to ease you back in, so you'll be active, but we'll have you as a third or fourth cornerback. Kind of pushing Anthony Brown out of the way and having Skandrick as the fourth corner with Xavier Woods as a third, Jordan Lewis and Chidobe Awuzie as the starters. So that's my opinion on that. They can go two ways with that situation. And again, his health is obviously important. But as far as the guys on the field, I like to see our future on the field right now. Our future is all those rookies, guys. And I really like the way they've been playing, even though they've been playing against mediocre, two bad squads or teams that have been missing a lot of important players. So, but again, this team coming up here, the Raiders, is even though they're having an off year, a la Dallas Cowboys, I think you're going to see, you're going to see some good play by the Raiders this weekend, this Sunday night. And I don't like that, but it is probably one of the truths of this. So let me just double check here, guys. All right, good. So let's see here, guys. Skandrick, as I talked about him already, but who else did not practice today? Tyron Smith and La'el Collins. It's a rest day. It's kind of as a rest day for both guys. We obviously need them both in every game, or else you can kiss the season goodbye as far as I'm concerned. So they're both going to probably play. And so Tyron Smith, La'el Collins, they did not practice today, but it's more of just a rest day for both of these guys, which is great news. Tomorrow you'll see them limited, probably both of them limited at practice, and La'el Collins will probably get his first, did not practice officially, hopefully tomorrow. Along with Tyron Smith, he always misses the Wednesday practices. So nothing to worry about there, guys. Both are going to practice tomorrow. DJ Crown J, how you doing, man? Much love. Hello and welcome to my Cowboys family. Now, let's go to the end of the day. So now at the end of the day, wraps up. Let's see our injury situation, guys. So did not practice today. Bryce Butler. Let me just say, Bryce Butler. He is expected to play against the Raiders. Just wanted to throw that out there, leave it out there for you guys. He is on the injury list with a foot injury, same one as last week. He was inactive for the last game. So this upcoming one, he did not practice, so we're looking down the same line. But I did see reports that he will be playing. He's expected to play. So we're saying that if there's no setbacks, Bryce Butler will be inactive. He will be active for the Raider game, and active receiver for the Raiders game. So that's number one there. Let's get him out the way, guys. A little bit of a surprise. James Hanna, tight end, knee injury. He did not practice today as well. I'm not really sure about the extent of that. Again, he's not a premier player, but he is somebody that's needed on that front line. So when it comes to blocking, that's his job for the most part. He'll make 2 or 3 catches a season, but he needs to be out there for the run block. So I think that's somebody we really need to hope that he can get back into the. He's more of a second or third tier guy. I guess a third tier guy, but. You can still, you still want him out there. You still want that cohesive run blocking offensive line out there. So, and he's been there for years. So has Swaim's been there. This is the second year for Swaim. So it's good that we keep both these guys there. What's up, man? How you doing? I hope so. I hope we're Super Bowl bound. Des is still elite. We got this. I know. So guys, so as I said, Bryce Butler did not practice. James Hanna did not practice with a knee injury. And then I spoke about the other guys already, guys. La'el Collins with his back did not practice, but he's going to practice tomorrow. Tyron Smith did not with his back injury as well. Did not practice. At least the groin's not mentioned anymore on the injury list. So it's just his back, the usual deal with him. He did not practice, but he's going to practice tomorrow. And Orlando Scandrick with the back injury, he did some. All these guys did some stuff on the sideline except for Tyron Smith, the ones that did not practice. So that's another good sign, except for Hanna and Butler. But Collins was, doing some stuff, and then again, the biggest name on this list, as far as I'm concerned, in the initial fear of this week of him missing a game, David Irving. So David Irving is a very number 95. He's very important this week, especially against a good Raiders offensive line. So we need him out there. And with the concussion, he did not practice, but he is out of the concussion. He was out there with the coaches. So that's a great sign for him to play. The expectation is he probably will play this game. So going over this list, guys, so we had a couple guys. Malik Collins' foot, he was limited. Justin Durant, now he did not play the last couple of weeks, but he from his concussion, but he was limited today. So that's a good sign, direction for him to play, or at least be on the active lineup. And Sean Lee's on the list again with the hamstring. Same thing as before, guys. He was just limited. They're taking it easy. Probably more like a vet day for him. So those 3 guys, no worries. But like I said, the guys, Bryce Butler, injury, did not practice, supposed to play. La'el Collins, it's basically a rest day for him. Did not practice. He's going to practice tomorrow. He's going to play if there's no setbacks to him. Hanna, we don't know much about him, so he's the one we got to kind of keep a closer eye on. Hanna is a knee injury, did not practice. So we'll see what happens tomorrow as far as he's concerned. David Irving with the concussion, the big name. He did not practice, but he's expected to practice tomorrow, expected to play. So those are great things, guys. Orlando Scandrick with the back injury did not practice, but tomorrow he did some stuff on the sideline, and tomorrow expected to practice. Probably gonna play, or possibly play. And then Tyron Smith with the back injury, the usual thing with him. Vet Wednesday, day off, so he did not practice. He's going to practice tomorrow, and he's expected to play. So great news from all on the injury front. And guys, somebody not on this list, Dan Bailey, our kicker, who had an off game, probably one of his worst. He missed an extra point. Never see that from him. It was cold. His hamstring was still acting up, according to Jerry Jones. So just chalk that one up to a bad game for Bailey, and luckily we didn't need his points in this game. Although it could have made a difference in the momentum and a lot of other things in this game. So we'll see this week. I think he'll rebound pretty nicely for us. Now, Raider players, guys, and this is Jack Del Rio. Remember him, former Cowboy, way back when, linebacker? Well, he's the coach for the Raiders, as you guys know, and the receiver, Amari Cooper, he did not practice today. It's big news because he's one of their best players, most dynamic receivers out of all the guys they have there. Cooper re-injured his left ankle versus the Chiefs, and he is day-to-day. Okay, so that's big news. I'd say out of all the injuries on their list right now, that's definitely the big one that sticks out. His ankle injury did not participate. I'm looking here at other guys. Hand ankle for defensive lineman Danico Autry. He did not practice. Mario Edwards, his ankle did not practice. He's a defensive lineman as well. The center guard, John Feliciano, concussion, did not practice. Obi Melafawanu, his hip injury, safety, did not participate. I think he's a starter or definitely an integral part of his team, of the Raiders team. Clive Walford, the backup tight end, he's concussion neck, did not participate. And then Bruce Irvin and Khalil Mack. Yeah, don't worry, guys. They both missed practice, did not participate, not injury related. Probably a similar thing to a rest day for them. There you go, guys. Amari Cooper is the big name on the list for the Raiders that we got to kind of track and watch and see what happens with that. Speaking of Khalil Mack and La'el Collins, La'el Collins plays. Obviously Khalil Mack is not behind Von Miller, probably the best in the league at his position at the end. La'el Collins plays against Khalil Mack this week in Oakland. Just to this again, think about this, guys. He's Collins this season. La'el Collins on the right tackle has played or been matched up with competition. 23 combined Pro Bowl appearances for the guys he's played against this season. 9 first-team All-Pros, and even a Defensive Rookie of the Year. So you want me to go through the list? The Defensive Rookie of the Year is Bosa, I'm pretty sure. So Giants was Pierre-Paul. Then the next week against the Broncos, Von Miller. Then Connor Barwin. Clay Matthews, that was Barwin with the Rams. Matthews with the Packers. Ryan Kerrigan with the Redskins. Preston Smith with the Niners. Justin Houston with the Chiefs. Brandon Graham with what's it? Is it the Atlanta game? No, I'm sorry. Vic Beasley was the Atlanta game. I don't know where Brandon Graham is, guys. I'm sorry. It might be the Eagles. But Melvin Ingram, there you go. That's Chargers, I think Chargers and Bosa, both of those guys, and Oliver Vernon for the Giants. So this is who's been matched up with this entire season, and that's a lot, guys. 23 combined Pro Bowl appearances, 9 first-team All-Pros, and a Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's the people that La'el Collins has matched up on the right tackle, and he's pretty much dominated most of those guys. So that's fantastic to see from that side of things. Our future with our offensive line is where our team runs. And when we get Zeke back, guys, it's going to be hard to stop the Cowboys if we can do what we were doing last season, and we can do what we were doing after that Packer game in the fourth quarter and on until we lost Zeke. So let me just look through here, guys. If there's anything else to say here. Oh, I did want to say one thing about Carson Wentz for the Eagle fans out there, and there's a couple. Michael Irvin said today in an article, I was reading it, and he said that when he got injured in Philadelphia, of course, if you guys know, you guys can look this up anytime you want. It happened, when was it that it happened? October 10th, 1999. You can look it up on the internet. You'll see the injury. It doesn't seem that bad, but he had a concussion, didn't know where he was. He couldn't move his arms. You could see he was kind of messed up. They had to immobilize him on a stretcher, pull him out of and that was his last time he ever played football, guys. So that hit. The Philadelphia Eagles cheered the injury when he was taken off the field and he gave like a thumbs up. They booed it. So that will stick with me always as a hatred towards the Eagles and the Eagle fans in that sense for those schmucks that I can't stand on the Eagles side. Now all of them are like that, but yes, those are, and that's disgusting. So when it comes to Carson Wentz, that's what he was speaking out because some Cowboy fans might be like saying, see, that's you go karma, that's what you get for cheering on injuries with Irving and I mean, I might have thought that, what I'm saying, as well in my mind. So he's just saying, clear it up, guys. Listen, nobody wants any injuries. I don't want an injury. I know that. But he said that, for those Cowboy fans that are cheering this on, that are cheering it on, actually out there vocally cheering on Wentz's injury, that's disgusting, guys. Do not do that. It should be better. That should be already known. But Michael Irvin came out with a quote today about that stuff. So he just wants Cowboy fans to chill out when it comes to Wentz and the karma thing, And I could understand that coming from him, somebody who actually went through that injury, that issue, played his last game, on that field in Philly, Veteran Stadium, and that was disgusting by the Eagles. We don't want to go down to their level, so you know what I mean. And guys, that's really it. I mean, we're going to talk about some playoff stuff here, but let me catch up with your guys' questions and things. So let me see something, guys. I'm going to try. I missed it, Buddy Johnson. I missed your thing there. Let me see if I can see the chat. For some reason, I cannot. Give me a second, guys. All right, let me see if this chat comes up right. Here we go. All right, let me see, guys. Yeah, fantasy football in our league, guys. I'm in the Final Four. Well, not me, my Cowboys family, but I'm representing them in the fantasy league. And man, we are battling KB's team, I think. Not sure if that's an Eagle fan or not on here, but let me know who you are. Now, let's see here, guys. What's up, guys? DJ Crown, he says, I'm hyped because Sunday's game stream will get us 1,000 subs. I hope. That'd be kind of cool to take us over the top, guys, by then. Definitely an influx here and there, getting 2 or 3 a day. That helps too, guys. So, maybe before then, it'll be maybe 10 away, So, Buddy Johnson says the law will be going after. I agree, man. Those 3 guys. Louis Uzier. And I'm just saying, guys, we have, I think we have a very good, crop of rookie corners. So yes, yeah, Louis Uzier and Woods, fantastic. I love it. That's why we need to chill back and hold back Skandrick as the 4th. I hope we're winning my fantasy is not that good. I mean, I'm surprised I'm getting this far because my team is up and down. But yeah, I hope we can get in there, guys, and get the championship to kick off my Cowboys family on here. That'd be awesome. What's up, Wolf Rider? How you doing? Almost 1,000. That's right, man. Bicycle home from school safely, man. All right, look both ways before you cross the street and all that. DJ Crown J, if Cooper plays, who will guard him, Awuzie or Lewis? That's a great question. I think Awuzie, maybe I think Awuzie is bigger. I'm not really sure, but I think Awuzie a little bigger, a little bit like wider. So maybe he would be a good matchup for Cooper, but I'm not sure about the quickness might be where we want Lewis out there. So that'd be interesting. Either way, I don't think it's that much of a downgrade. I think we're in good shape either way. DJ Crown J. Cowboys X Factor says Brandon Graham is Eagles. Oh, there you go. Brandon Graham is Eagles. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, man. Thank you for that. Dez is still elite. Says Zeke comes back this week or next. Next week against the Seattle Seahawks on Christmas Eve. So Peanut, what's up, man? How you doing? Cowboys X Factor. Dak said something about Wentz that he won't change his style of play. Right? Yeah, he's still gonna play. Active run. Go for that extra yard if he needs to. Those flips you've seen him against Arizona and those other plays he did against, running the ball in, other touchdowns when he's had to take a couple of hits, he's still going to do that, which you want to kind of see him do. You want him not to because the moment you lay off on that is the moment you get hurt. So you got to continue to have that mentality of not worrying about that. And if it happens, it's bad luck and it happens. What's up, Hello Newman? How you doing? Question, did you notice our D-line didn't look the same without Irving? I did. And that's against a bad Giants offensive line. But I will say, DeMarcus Lawrence, even though he didn't get a sack, he didn't register a sack, he did so many pressures. He really, bothered Eli Manning. It was in his face all day. Eli didn't have much time. He just had their game plan looked like it was just quick dump offs, quick plays, boom, boom, boom. But they knew that their offensive line can't really hold it together. So, yeah, I mean. I think it was a combination of both things when it comes to the defensive line. But I do think that Richard Ash did okay, but he's no David Irving. So we need to make sure Irving's in there. It looks like it's good for him to play based on the practice schedule, which is tomorrow for him. Hopefully, guys, will be big. And I think if he practice tomorrow, he's going to be playing. So that's great news. Our offensive line is going to be intact. Hannah's the only one part of basically I call him part of the offensive line because he helps block on running plays. If we're missing him, then we have to have Blake Jarwin take over in that spot, and he'll be the inactive, and Blake Jarwin will be active this week. That could be an issue, though. See, so I want to make sure we try to keep Hannah. I hope Hannah can get in there from this knee injury. So let's see here. Des is still elite says, honestly, I don't hope for injury. I sure hope. Yeah, I know. I hope nobody is rooting for injury. That's kind of messed up. If it happens, and the team is unlucky, it sucks. It happens to all the teams. It happens to a lot of the players. Almost every player gets some kind of injury in their career. Just gotta hope it's not big, and you know, it's not like Ryan Shazier. You know, you don't want him. You don't want that kind of injury for sure. You know, that's a life and death thing. You know, so we just want to make sure everyone's safe, and we beat. I don't mind beating teams full blast. You know, full rosters, no injuries. I would not mind that. But when they are there, you got to then pick at those weaknesses. If not, then that would be you'd be a stupid coach. If you know, or you'd be a stupid analyst if you were not to look at when we don't have Zeke, people are looking at that as our weakness. When we have, you know, when we have injuries in our team, our left tackle gone, they're gonna pick on that side, and it works most of the time. So gotta be the other team has to be prepared to adjust. Something the Cowboys don't ever do, or at least doing a little better, I would say, in the recent weeks for sure. So let's see here. I always share. Lewis takes risks. Ball hog. Lawrence gets held 6. I agree, guys. That he got held a lot. I saw a lot of clips of him being held in that game. You can now, guys. That's the thing. The salary cap situation when it comes to Cowboys X Factor asks a good question. Who do you keep if you're going to choose one, Hitchens or Lawrence? I mean, if I can only choose one, I would have to keep Lawrence based on his age. That's basically it. I mean, Hitchens, so important, so vital to our defense. I would do anything to try to keep both of them. But I think if any of those two have to go, it would be Hitchens. David Irving staying. He's a restricted free agent. DeMarcus Lawrence would get the franchise tag 1 year, and then we'll see if he does it again, and then he'll get the payday. If not, he'll be bye probably. Depending, it really depends on what happens. And hopefully, there's no injuries. But you know, those are the kind of things that we have to kind of weigh, ages and stuff like that. You know, Hitchens only had one injury in all his career. And it only cost them 4 games. We thought it was going to cost them 16 and the playoffs, you know, if that was even in our future for this year. So these are very important things to consider when you're thinking it through. But yes, Hitchens is a little older. So I'd say Lawrence, you keep him, but I do anything you can to keep Hitchens too, and Irving and Zach Martin. And with the cap space we might have open, even if you don't have the Des Bryant part, so you're still at 35 million. Ish in that range, 30 to 35 million. You can keep, with the way you structure these contracts, you can keep all 4 of those guys if you really wanted to. Plus, add a veteran left tackle for 3 to 4 million. Plus, add the rookies that you're going to sign, and maybe a couple other spots you need to fill in with some lower talent. But I'm just saying that would be we need the depth, but when you're spending big money on the big guys up front, you're spending money on defensive guys, and you're gonna have to go thin somewhere. And it looks like depth is where the Cowboys have to go thin. We'll see. We'll see what happens, guys. If you lose Dez, who do you put there? And you got to throw money into that spot too. I don't think a rookie would be the answer, especially unless it's a first-round pick. But then I think we need a defensive player. So a million things swirling around, guys. So it'll be interesting this offseason, no doubt, no matter what happens. Let's see. Dez is still elite. Says it's blatant now. It's sad. Seen it too many. I agree. Too many places being held. The market. Everybody on that front line is being held. DJ Crown J says, you think bringing in a veteran left tackle help Tyron would be tough? would be tough being that they wouldn't want veterans minimum, but won't guarantee money. I mean, I agree. There's always issues with the signing stuff, but I think that's something that the Cowboys should consider a top task because it's not that expensive. When you look at what it would cost to bring in, to find a left tackle of Tyron Smith's stature and size, I'm saying his ability. I mean, when he's out there, he's still fantastic. So there's if you want to let him go, then you can save that spot, I guess. But then you got to find somebody to take that left tackle. It's got to be a big name guy. And again, I don't think you want to get rid of Tyron Smith anytime soon. Not yet. Not yet. He's still young. But good question there. Cowboys X Factor. DJ only we get depth. We should get adios to D Law. Really? You want to say bye to D Law? I don't know. They're both 25. DJ Crown. That's why I say you keep both. It's a priority. I'd rather get both of them. David Irving and Zach Martin, get all 4 of those guys. Let Tyrone Crawford go. Cut Scandrick, and if you want to cut Dez, plus the added salary cap we get from, I think we get something from Romo, plus we get something from these other cuts, big chunks of change. We could open up 30 to 35 million with even keeping Dez. Cut Dez, we get up to 50. I think we have to throw money at that spot. I think someone said earlier, I saw it on other streams, Devontae Adams. That could be someone we can consider as a first guy. That would be a guy who's a free agent next year. So if you want to throw money into that, but not pay the Dez money, you want to pay him. Instead of paying 12, but you're going to get hit on the salary cap. Maybe you're paying Devontae 10. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know. Or structured a certain way so you can get less up front and then maybe let it pay off later. Either way, that's something we got to really consider and think about more. Think about more in the off season. It'll be interesting. So let's see here, guys. Ella Newman says X and Dez. We'll see. We got Xavier Woods now. DJ Crown J, Lon Hitchens are both 25. Yeah, no, and again, thank you for saying that. No, that's what I was responding to. I think we got to keep Hitchens. I just can't. I don't know what to say. I mean, with Sean Lee, with the injuries that he can have, and the fact that Anthony Hitchens is a he barely misses games. He's Iron. So Iron Man, I think he's going to be he needs to be kept as well, without a question, without a doubt, in my humble opinion on that. Let's talk about the playoffs, guys. I do want to kind of touch on that real quick. I saw today that there's a new statistic because the NFL kind of figured out other ways Cowboys can make the playoffs. That 4%, whatever that was, that 4% chance to make the playoffs has gone up to almost 10%, 9.8% to be exact. So we have about 10% chance, a 1 out of 10 chance as of this moment to make the playoffs. Now, if we win out, that chance goes at least a coin flip. So it's a half, 50-50. There's still a chance, guys. And it's again, like a lot of people have been reporting, it doesn't look as bad as it seems. Again, I'm going to reiterate and refresh everyone's memory about what has to happen. We have to win out all 3 games. That happens, it's about a coin flip. But it would be better than that if it would be either a coin flip and it comes down to it that last week. We could be out already by the last week, honestly, even if we do win all our games like that. Because if Atlanta wins 2 in a row, Carolina wins 2 in a row, we're done. It's over. I'm just letting you guys know that ends it for the Cowboys. It ends it for basically everybody else. And those 2 teams make the playoffs. So even if they play each other the last week, I know different things could occur, but it would not include the Cowboys, unfortunately. So we'd have to figure out another way into the playoffs. And I think there's the other flip side of that coin. When we can be up to closer to 80 or 90%, if things go right, we might be able to control our own destiny when we get into the playoffs, guys. What's up? What's up, man? How you doing, Bobby J. Johnson? DJ Crown J says, I would cut Tyrone Crawford for sure. Skandrick, for sure, without thinking. Boom, both of them off. Heath as well. I agree with him. Not worth the money. Not worth the investment in that spot. We have Kevon Frazier. We have Xavier Woods. We have, Woozy can play back there. We have Byron Jones. I would say we're good there. And we're good at corner for the most part. If cut Skandrick, we could find somebody else. I'm hoping that can be the 4th, 5th guy, actually, because you guys say Anthony Brown's still there. So that's 4 guys we have, 4 young cornerbacks. So Cowboys have to win out. Green Bay has to lose at least 1. That, no matter how you look at it, has to happen. No matter when and where, it has to happen. Detroit has to lose at least 1. That, no matter what, has to happen. And Atlanta or Carolina have to lose 2 of its last 3. Now, they play each other at the end, as we discussed in the past. The last week, we have Detroit and Green Bay playing each other, and one of them are going to get a loss. We just hope the one that gets the loss is the one that already has a loss from one of the earlier weeks before then. And then Atlanta losing 2 of their last 3. Atlanta plays, Atlanta plays at Tampa Bay, which Monday night, you never know. Listen, Miami upset the Patriots. Tampa Bay could upset Atlanta, trust me. So that's 1 game. Now, don't count on that one, but still, next week at New Orleans, Atlanta at New Orleans, that's a very winnable game for New Orleans. Obviously, it's going to be tough, but they have to. I feel they're going to have the revenge game on their minds, and they want to win this game. And then the last week they play Carolina, which it's at home. Carolina, might not have anything to play for all we know if they've won 2 in a row already, and Atlanta's won 2, so it might not even matter for us at that point. So we'll see what happens, but that's a tough game for Atlanta, even at home. Now you look at Green Bay; they got to lose 1 game. They get at Carolina with Rodgers. Home against Minnesota, which I personally think is their toughest game. They only have 1 home game, and that's it. And then they go at Detroit, which again, that we need Detroit to get a loss too. So we'll see how that figures in here. Detroit, they play home against Chicago. Now I think Chicago can definitely defensive. They're decent defense. They're a division team. It might be an issue. So let's see. I do think that Detroit's going to win, but I think that there's a chance, always a chance, for one of these division games to go haywire, and it could be, upside down, and hopefully it will be this one. So let's see what happens. The next week, I don't think it's a shoo-in that Detroit beats Cincinnati. Their defense is decent, and I think there's a lot of you know, a lot of differences when you play in Cincinnati. Although the Bears will tell you differently. They just whooped up on Cincinnati pretty much in Cincinnati. So when you look at both these teams, they just played each other, and they're now both going to be playing Detroit. One of them's got to crack Detroit. One of them's got to crack through and we get a victory. I'm hopeful that happens. And then the last game, of course, they play at home against the Green Bay Packers, probably with Aaron Rodgers, maybe playing for a playoff spot. So as we said, guys, the path of that could help us would be if Green Bay does beat Carolina, but then loses to Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay loses to Minnesota the following week, and then is able to beat Detroit if Detroit hasn't lost yet in the final week. New Orleans beats Atlanta. That's a must. No matter how you look at it, that game in 2 weeks has to happen. If that does happen, guys, we might be by that point in control of our own destiny. And then if that breaks down that way, we win out, we will be the we'll be the 6th seed, and the loser of the Carolina-Atlanta game is out, and the winner would be the 5th seed. So let's see here, guys. DJ Crown J says Sean Lee plays Sunday. Beast Mode will not have. I agree. Sean Lee will play Sunday. DJ Crown J. What's up, Cowboys face? How you doing? Hello Numa. Hello Numa says if Witt retires, we release Dez Crawford 17 million in space. Yeah, I mean we'll be at 30, and that's not even including the up that they already moved it up between 4 and 10. I think $4 and $10 million are going to move the salary cap on top of that. I don't know if we're getting Romo money back from this year as far as the cap hit or less of a cap hit. I'm not sure. Why do we need the Lions to lose? We don't win tiebreaker with them, unfortunately. Common opponents, I think, is what it is where we lose it with them. So we cannot. We have to have the Lions lose one game. Cowboys face says just got to win out. The rest will take care of itself. Pretty much exactly what you're saying. I think if we win out, our percentage goes about 90%, or we might be in control. I like to think about it when we are in control of our own destiny. We've got to go at Philly that final week, and we know we win, we're in. We lose, we're out. I mean that's it. We need to. I just hope the Cowboys can somehow get lucky enough to set themselves up that way. And again, New Orleans has to beat Atlanta in 2 weeks. That'll be before the Seattle game. Okay, so they play at 1 and we play at 4. So that would be a helpful situation if we know that that's already happened. If we know New Orleans beats Atlanta that week before we play Seattle, we might already have control at that moment, depending on what happens with Green Bay, depending if Tampa Bay upsets Atlanta, depending on what happens with with Atlanta and well, we know with New Orleans they lose, but more importantly, like a Tampa Bay upsets Atlanta, you never know. But we're looking at Green Bay and losing to Minnesota that same week. All right, so the same week as the Seattle game. If those things happen early and we play later against Seattle, we know if we win this game, we control our own destiny. I mean, at that point, we should know it. I think we'll be either very close to knowing it, or our percentages will be way through the roof if these couple of things happen. So not really sure who to cheer on this weekend when it comes to Green Bay and Carolina. But we have to hope that Green Bay gets a loss somewhere, and that's where the catch is. And I think the Minnesota game is vital to the Cowboys. When Green Bay plays at home against Minnesota, that's going to be a big one. So we need to make sure we had a hope that they win, that the Vikings can defeat the Aaron Rodgers Green Bay Packers. So let's see here, guys. Aaron Rodgers gets hurt Sunday. I don't want to say that, but I will say that if you rush someone back, they could definitely, re-injure themselves quicker. So Rodgers, what I've been reading though, Rodgers is ready to go. He means business. Now, I still think he might be rusty. I still think there might be a chance for him to slip up a little bit. And if you think about it, guys, and somehow, you have teams like Atlanta. What if they blow their game against Tampa Bay? You ask. What if Carolina loses to Green Bay and then Green Bay loses to Minnesota next week? Okay. What if Detroit loses to Chicago this week? If those 3 things happen, 4 things, whatever I said, and we win against Oakland, when we go into the Seattle game, we control our own destiny. So I personally think that would be a dream come true, obviously to all us Cowboy fans, but I wouldn't really put too much money. I wouldn't wager money on that. I would just say, let's see what happens. Maybe an upset occurs and the Bears are able to pull it out against Detroit and knock Detroit out as far as we're concerned in our minds. Whoever wins the right game out of the Green Bay Carolina game, we don't know which would help us, but okay, one of them lose, win, it doesn't matter. Let's say Green Bay loses, that would knock them out as far as we're concerned. And let's say, what if Atlanta gets upset by Tampa Monday night? At that point, going into the next week, we know that we got to watch that New Orleans game. If New Orleans beats Atlanta, then we control our own destiny, and we win out, we win. That's how fast it can change, guys. So that's basically a week and a half. At best, we can be in control of our own destiny. But we shall see what happens. We got to win out no matter what. Like Cowboys face said, win out first. That's the only thing that matters. Everything else will have to fall in place. If we don't make it, we don't make it. We're still fans for life, though. So let me finish this up, guys. Here, Cowboys X Factor says, I think Bears with better kicker Connor Barth, Carlos Santos, but Mike Nugent. Well, let's see. Let's hope that they can pull it out. I think Aaron Rodgers gets hurt. Yeah, we discussed that one already. Weapon X88, what's up? How you doing? Go Cowboys. Cowboys X Factor says, my Cowboys family, if Bucks beat Panthers, okay, and Falcons, we should send them a gift. Yeah, well, yeah. Okay, I see. I thought you were going to come up with something more than that. I'm just trying to read it piece by piece. But yeah, if the Bucks beat them both, that would be awesome. They would help us tremendously. I wouldn't count them both, but let's hope that they could beat the Falcons. That'd be nice. That'd be the one we really want. Cowboys X Factor. I think Panthers and Falcons game is going to be win or go home game. It might be for them. And if that occurs, again, guys, we kind of have to hope that Carolina loses 2 games. Will that happen? I don't know. They have a tough schedule too, so there's no guaranteeing them anything, but they're least important. Now let's see here. Space Cowboy, how you doing, man? How you doing? Keep the number 3% in your head. That's what our chances were after Thanksgiving. Exactly. And it's rising. Now we're at 10%. So, maybe in a week and a half we'll be at controlling our own destiny %. You know what I mean? We would be, basically got to win out. And again, I'm gonna keep saying this to you guys. No, it can't be 0% Cowboys X Factor, because that would mean that there's no chance to make the playoffs and there's no way you can get back from that. So yeah, it can't be 0%. But again, if Carolina beats Green Bay this weekend and we get 2 upsets, of course we have to win out. So we're assuming we beat Oakland on Sunday night. But if earlier in the day we see Green Bay get upset or not, but lose to Carolina, and we see Atlanta's a Monday night, and if they get upset by Tampa and Detroit loses to Chicago, okay, now you have it. Basically, Cowboys win that night. That means the next week we got to just watch that New Orleans game, New Orleans Atlanta. As long as that happens, we're in. We're in as far as controlling our destiny. Let me not jump the gun. So we'll definitely be watching these games very closely. Trust me, very, very closely. So Cowboys X Factor, how you doing? You said this loss. What loss hurt the Cowboys the most this year? As far as the Cowboys are concerned, I'd say the Packers, probably the one that hurt the most, or the Falcons. But the Falcons, we were without Tyron Smith and were not prepared for that game, although it could have been 17-10 if Nugent didn't miss that field goal towards the end of that third quarter. So, when you look at it like that, even with all those injuries, we still were in that game. That one kind of hurt and it kind of sprung. It was a springboard for the Falcons to really make the run that they're making now, to really stay relevant and right now actually get the 6th seed in the playoffs. So what's up, Dano? How you doing, man? Long time. Thanks for joining back on here. Guys, just a quick reminder, Shallow Hal's on here, Bobby J. Johnson, DJ Crown, Jay, Cowboy X Factor, all you guys, thank you for being on here. Space Cowboy, hit that like button for me, for the channel, for us. We blows up the channel a little more, and we'll get quicker to that 1,000. Which right now we're right around the corner, guys. Thank you all for the help, especially Cowboy X Factor, who's helping us on Twitter. Thank you all, guys, for everything you do. Your comments has been great. So let's see, what loss hurt the account? Like I said, I think the Packer game was the worst one that hurt us, but the Falcon one definitely was big too. Just wish we had Tyron Smith for that game. Cowboys X Factor, the best win this year was at home with the Chiefs. I think it was no, I don't think so. Not sure what it was, but. Thank you. Yes, Shallow Hal. You too. Good luck. I know you're in the other bracket, so we'll be maybe seeing each other in the championship. We'll see, Shallow Hal. I don't know. Space Cowboy 17. Surprised people aren't talking about how scary this team is in the postseason. Well, some people are starting to. I remember the day I started talking about that was after the Redskin game last week. I'm pretty sure it was after the Redskin game when we beat them. I was saying, if we can sneak in the playoffs, no matter how, at the time there was 4 games left and we beat the Giants. If we get in the playoffs, we'll be the scariest team out there, the scariest with most potential to really run the table and make that Super Bowl run. I truly think so. If we can get back to the roots of what we're about, to what we were built on, which is the running game and the blocking, and establishing that will open everything else up for the defense, for the passing game as well. Guys, you don't understand. We saw last year, it'd be better than that. And the reason I say that is because this defense has been tested inside and out. This defense on pure ability and skills better than last year's defense. I truly believe that. when we are healthy, we are a decent, above average defense. The stuff they've done this year against with their backs against the wall on a lot of bad offensive situations for the Cowboys and a lot of bad play calling, whoever you want to blame, it's a group effort. So the entire offensive side of the ball and head coach down, really hindered any chances for this defense to be a top 10 defense. I do think that if we get everyone healthy and the offense can establish that running game, which then leads to the passing game, which the options and a million other things you can do out of that, play action, etc., screens, then you run it around and you control the clock. You get touchdowns, not field goals. Remember that? And then defense will hold it down for us. I have confidence in the defense that maybe they'll blow one or two drives, but for the most part, they're going to hold it down. They've been doing it all year for the most part. So I have confidence in the way that the defense is playing, as long as the offense can control the game. And that's where we need the offense for that. The defense is not a Minnesota Vikings defense or Philadelphia Eagles or Rams defense. It's a defense that needs help from their offense. And if you don't give them the help, we almost did it again against the Giants. You don't give them help, you're risking the chance of really losing any game to any team in the NFL, no matter how bad they are. So, let me go back here, guys. Yeah, so much has to happen, DJ Crown J. But again, those are the most, I guess, the most probable way, as I was saying, these other upsets would put us in control of our own destiny. That would be it. I'm not talking about the fact that it's going to probably happen. It probably won't happen. What I was talking about is that if the Bears can upset Detroit, but is it that big of an upset? Divisional game? I guess it would be somewhat of an upset. But again, I don't think it's a mind-blowing upset. And the same thing goes with the I guess Atlanta at Tampa would be a little bit bigger. But who would have thought the Dolphins would have beat the New England Patriots? It's a divisional game, and this is a divisional game as well. And they always play better. And again, I think Tampa just has nothing to play for. They have nothing to lose, so they might love nothing more than to hurt the Falcons' chances. And if that occurs, then you have a shot for Green Bay to be knocked out, whether it's this week against Carolina. When I say out, I mean out against us, so we have the control. They lose against Carolina, that gives us the upper hand on them and Detroit if they get upset by the Bears. And then with the Cowboys winning, Seattle doesn't matter as long as we win out. Now, I will say this though: I will keep one thing in mind, guys, about Seattle Seahawks. If they catch the Rams, this could be an issue. But if they catch the Rams become a wild card team. Now they have tiebreaker on us. Then you'll ask me at that point, what's the most important game of the year? The Rams game that we let slip away. If it comes down to that situation, but that's why this week, I should say, the Rams play at Seattle. We would love nothing more than Seattle to lose, let the Rams take the division, and that would clinch the division for the Rams. I'm pretty sure. So guys, that would be the best possible thing. That would keep the Rams away from knocking us out as a wild card, while Seattle would have to lose to us the next week, and then that would kind of keep them from capturing the wild card. So they could win the other two games, and they could lose to us and still win the division, and then the Rams would be the wild card, knocking us out. So that's another danger. There's so many little pitfalls that can go very, very hard to happen, but that could happen. Just like we can get lucky and control our own destiny by next week. So we'll see, guys. I mean, be interesting. Let's see here. Daniel says, "Yep, new job. Good job, man. I'm glad you are rocking in here. I'm able to stop by, and I hope you catch the replays. If you guys have a change of schedule, you can always let me know. Comment. I'll at least I'll keep that in my mind, especially to the subscribers that have been here since the beginning, man. Much love to all you guys, and even up to the newest one. We appreciate all of you. But you guys, let me know because I can then, try to put them out more family friendly, I guess you say, since it's the Cowboys family. So I can put them out more like in the time frames where you guys are around. So, you guys, the main dudes on here and chicas that are on here dictate, the ones that were here from the beginning dictate when I'll play these the videos or try to put them out there to catch the bigger group of you guys. Let's see here. Yeah, original followers. And there's so many of you. I would have to. A lot of you out here right now. So much love to all of you. Bailey's good to go. Sweet. Yes, Bailey is good. We're good. Damn Bailey, we're good. If we make the playoffs, whoo, yeah. I know. We finally got to. I agree with you. The frustration is real. Weapon X88. We have a pass rush. That was an issue last year. We could have maintained with those guys, with Claiborne and Carr, and Church and Wilcox if the front line was better. But we had, Lawrence suspended and then injured. So, there's a lot of other pieces that were out there. Irving came on late. I mean, he had his games, but he wasn't so consistent. I think he was injured too for a little bit. Look, just a lot of issues with the pass rush last year. Now it's resolved. Our defensive backfield looks good. Our linebackers are solid when they're healthy. We're good to go on defense right now. So DJ Crown J, Shannon Sharp is playing the same character Stephen A. I agree. Hey, DJ Crown J, it's funny you just said that. I was hearing him the other day. He just purposely is trying to get under Skip Bayless's skin. And I just saw a clip. I don't even watch that garbage. But, yeah, he was doing the same thing that Stephen A. Smith does. He's just being a Cowboy hater just to go against Skip Bayless and make it into a Cowboy ratings fest. I don't watch that garbage. Sorry, guys. But, yeah, I know you're saying, DJ Crown J. It is exactly what he's doing. Cowboys X Factor says, nobody gives us a chance to make the playoffs except Dallas Cowboys YouTubers. Well, everybody gives us a chance. ESPN gives us a chance. NFL Network gives us a chance. Everybody gives us a chance. You know why? Because they keep showing us at every single screen. Fox, CBS, ABC, ESPN, whoever you want to talk about, NBC, they all are showing the Cowboys in the hunt. That means they know there's still a chance. So they are giving us a chance. Don't worry about that X Factor. Zeke, I'm hearing Zeke is in great shape right now. He's actually lost weight. He's more chiseled. I don't know, man. If we put him in the seat right there at the running back spot, ready to just burst through there, and we got a chance to control our own destiny, with the Seahawks for some crazy way, or even just stay in, upping our percentages to get in the playoffs, and we win this week. Just winning this week, guys. We got Zeke ready to roll, and that's it. And I don't know. I'm feel bad for all the defenses that we're going to be playing because Zeke's not. He's going to be a man on a mission. And it's going to carry into next season. You can bet your butts on that one. What's up, Cowboys 482? How you doing? What's up? Kingstar Vids, how you doing as well? Everybody says we will make the playoffs or Super Bowl. We will. We are looking better than our team healthy. Well, we'll see. Now, remember, guys, the one thing I always want to bring us back down to reality on is that the teams we've beat the last 2 weeks, although they're division rivals, although they are, they've had their ups, the Giants have a good defense still, as far, not in stats, but as far as players and abilities, there's still a lot of them are still there. They're dropping like flies over their injuries. But the Redskins beat great teams this year, guys. I mean, when they were better than they are now, like Seattle, they beat Seattle in Seattle. They beat the Rams in LA. I think they came close to beating the Saints in over. I mean, yeah, it was a close game against the Saints. I don't know if they went to overtime or not. I think they did. So the Redskins are no team to mess around with, and we handled them twice. So. But I'm saying the last 2 weeks we played against easier competition, games we should win. And the Redskins looked good. The Giants, we didn't look good to the end, which we can't mess around against teams like Oakland Raiders or the Seattle Seahawks or the Philadelphia Eagles. We got to take control of these games from the beginning like the Redskin game. And that means running the ball, controlling the clock, being smart and creative in the passing game and the routes. And then you set us up for touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. And defense will then do the rest for you. That would fall into place like last year. I truly believe that. X Factor. Curious for origin your name because it is Dallas Cowboy community. Wait, curious origin of your name. Is it because of Dallas Cowboys community? Origin of my name, man. It goes way back to the first people where we all came from. Let's see here. If we can't have two backs at the same time, maybe three though. Well, I mean, I don't know. We already have Keith Smith. We have Morris, and we have Rod Smith. I think Rod Smith is going to be the leader to stay in there as the backup to Zeke in the future. Bobby J. Johnson. I would love to see the face of Goodell and he hands. Yes, that would be fantastic. I just hope it happens so much sooner than later, guys. So I hope that I don't really care about Jerry Jones. Win the Super Bowl with Zeke at the Cowboys. That would be, and Zeke would be getting that trophy from that railroader, Goodell. That would be nothing better. I'm sure the same feeling that Brady had. Let me see here, guys. Trying to see where we're at here with the. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe as well, guys. That would be priceless. On Roger last deal, you mean Roger Goodell? I think it's way too much, way expensive with what they're paying Goodell. I think it's $200 million. I think he wanted like a plane for the rest of his life, like he's president of the United States. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I don't think that is. I don't think that's a very good deal. But again, when there's eventually might lead to either a strike or when the end of the contract is there, whenever that may be, that they will, either strike or just not renew it or call for something else. If maybe the players will say, if you sign him again, we will all sit. That's a very good possibility and could very well occur. A touchdown of let's see, DJ Crown J says a touchdown of Rod Smith ran. Yeah, guys, ran would have happened if it was wouldn't have happened if it was Alvin Morris. I agree with you. His power, he has all the factors. I think so. Losing someone like Morris wouldn't be the biggest deal next year. We'll open up a couple more millions of dollars. But I think that I wish we could get some worth in him in a trade. That'd be nice. Yeah, I think it's too late for that though, unfortunately. Cowboys 42 says the game we need more plays from Rod Smith based on the play of the Raiders defense. Yeah, I mean the Raiders defense is going to be pretty good. I don't think that they're as good as some of the defense we've played, and I will be bringing up some of these facts, figures, stats probably tomorrow and Friday, Saturday, maybe repeating it again, coming up with the last moves on the injury list, and we'll do our Madden stream, guys, a breakdown of the Raider game in Oakland. Night game, Sunday night, and then that's Sunday night. We're going to do our reaction live stream, guys, with the family as always. So make sure you join us for that as always. So let's see here. I'm going to go a couple more, guys. I'm going to start heading out. Hope I'm answering most of your questions. Alroby, how you doing, man? How you doing? Zeke will return and break his single game rushing. They're missing a lot of pieces, Seattle, on defense, and it would be, Chancellor's gone, Sherman's gone, who's the linebacker's gone as well. I mean, my point is, I think that game, even though it's at home, it's not really that's an advantage. It's at home. It's an advantage that we're not in Seattle. That's all I'm going to say. But we did win last time we were in Seattle, if I recall. But here we go. I mean, I do think that he's going to have a great game. I don't know about breaking the season record, but I think that he'll have two good games against two tough defenses, even still with the injuries to Seattle, and then the next week against Philly. I think Zeke's going to be showing how good he is compared to these defenses, these so-called top defenses. Again, if we get in the playoffs, it all changes. And the Cowboys are tested this year. They were tested from last year, from last year's heartbreaking loss. We are tested and game ready. I just hope that we get together and sneak into the playoffs with some help. That's what we need, guys. So that's, I always look about controlling their own destiny. I want to see that happening. And the way that happens is upset city this weekend, guys. It's sort of a bizarre world season. As long as we win our game against Oakland, we could be possibly sitting next week against Seattle at 4 o'clock in the afternoon games, and be in control of our own destiny. So you never know, guys. If Green Bay loses to Carolina, and if they win, it's still another path. Don't worry. But if Green Bay loses to Carolina, Detroit loses to Chicago, and then Monday night Atlanta loses to Tampa, we win our game. Then we'll have to look for is the 1 o'clock game. I don't know if it'll be 1 o'clock at the time. It might change it, but it'll be the Atlanta at New Orleans game. And if New Orleans can pull out a victory against Atlanta, we control our own destiny that evening, Christmas Eve. And if we win, we just got to win the last game we're in. So let's see here, guys. Yeah, I'll be a sub here too. Don't forget, hit that subscribe. We're almost at 1,000, guys. It's exciting. It is very exciting to do this. We never thought we'd get past 100. So it's crazy. So Bobby J. Johnson, Rod's weight is just fine. Rod Smith's weight, yes, but we're talking about Zeke. I think Zeke was the one that's been working out and really a lot more chiseled. King Star Vids, damn, I hope Zeke gains a lot of yards, touchdowns against Seahawks where I live. That's a last year. Yeah, that'd be nice. I think if you recall, guys, the first game Zeke ever had in his career contacting the NFL was Seattle Seahawks in exhibition, the game that we lost Romo for the rest of his career. So, well, I guess except for except for the last game of the season last year, so against Philly. But that was the, that game really Zeke showed some he gained respect from the league that day. It was an exhibition game. Preseason means nothing, but Zeke was playing like a man on a mission, and he was running over Cam Chancellor. They're getting little shoving fights. Watch the plays from that game. I know it's out there somewhere on YouTube. Watch that game, the Dallas at Seattle preseason game when Romo hurt his back. They show every play that Zeke does. I know there's a stream out there, or not a stream, but a channel or a page that does it. I might upload it just so you can see his first game ever against NFL talent. And these guys in Seattle were not messing around. They were playing hard, all of them. And Zeke was playing a little harder. That will always stick out in my mind. So when I think of Seattle and their defense, and now they're missing some of these guys, Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, Those are the guys that make the hits on Zeke. Zeke's gonna run the whole team over. We'll see. We gotta get past Bennett, and I think we're good. Why do you make streams the stream short? Why do we make the stream short recently? Got other things in life. I gotta do a lot of things, and right now I know we're running with a lot of people in here. I think 18, 20 people. So guys, again, reminder: hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. We're almost at that big 1,000 mark goal, and we're gonna do a lot of stuff relating from that and onward to hopefully get more people and create and make the family bigger, my Cowboys family bigger, guys. So always trying to continue to grow. So let's see here. Al Roby says, bring up the scenarios we need to make the playoffs. Let's focus on that. Now, I did that already, and I will end it with that. That's a good way to end it. All right, guys, let's see. DJ Crown J said himself he can lose a few. Yeah, well, I don't know about that thing with Rod Smith and all, but very interesting. Now, let's just I have that's the playoff thing. There's two things there's two different paths I'm going to talk about here. Path one, the basics, guys. We have to win out. No matter what, every path, we have to win out. We have to have Green Bay lose one game. I'll show you how that would work the best for us. Green Bay loses one game, Detroit loses one game, and Atlanta or Carolina loses 2 of their last 3 games. We know that Detroit plays Green Bay the final game. One of them are going to lose. We know that Atlanta and Carolina play each other the last game of the year. We know one of them is going to lose one game. We still have 3 more to lose in that group, and we have, or I'm sorry, 1 more to the loser. Hopefully that one lost earlier in the year, early in these last 3 games. So here's the best way we can use it, guys. Again, winning out, Green Bay losing 1, Detroit losing 1, and Atlanta or Carolina losing 2 out of the last 3. Right now, if Dallas wins out, okay, and here's another path, and Green Bay wins this week against Carolina, Minnesota then beats Green Bay next week, and then Green Bay beats Detroit, and that doesn't have to happen. But let's just say that if Detroit hasn't lost yet, then Green Bay has to beat Detroit that last week, and then next week, New Orleans beats Atlanta. New Orleans at home. They play Atlanta and they beat them. And we win out. Then we are a 6th seed guaranteed. And the loser of the Carolina-Atlanta game is out. So that would be a nice way to get in the playoffs. But again, here's what I'm trying to say about controlling our own destiny. If these 4 things happen, I'm trying to think of 4 or 5 things happen, we are in control of our own destiny. So this week's games, let's focus on that first and foremost. Green Bay losing to Carolina, even with Aaron Rodgers, it's very possible, but we'll see. First game back, Green Bay loses to Carolina will help in this way. Green Bay loses, they're behind us. Again, this is assuming we win. Green Bay loses, Detroit gets upset at home by the Chicago Bears. The defense looks good. They played well against Cincinnati last week. Now it's a division rival. Let's see. So if Detroit loses to Chicago and Green Bay loses to Carolina, Monday night, Atlanta gets upset by a division rival on Monday Night Football, kind of like the Dolphins did to the Patriots. And, the Falcons are not the Patriots. So if that occurs, what does that do if we win our Oakland game? Well, that makes it so that we don't have to watch one game the next week at 1 o'clock. I'm assuming it's at 1 because I don't think they moved it yet. But that would be the New Orleans home game against the Falcons. Atlanta at New Orleans. If the New Orleans Saints beat the Falcons on Christmas Eve, basically, when we play in the afternoon at home against Seattle with Zeke back, we control our own destiny starting when that game kicks off. So that's the soonest we could control our own destiny. And that's the way I'm trying to break it down for you guys. If you guys understand what I'm saying, you can see on Twitter. You can follow us there on Twitter, My Cowboys Family. It's all below here on the stream, on this little thing at the bottom. Also in the description, it's in there. And our homepage is on there. So you can definitely follow us on Twitter. We posted the picture and the information of what has to kind of happen. But I just want to make sure you guys know, and maybe I will post this as well tonight so you guys can see it. The only way we control our own destiny as soon as possible would be if those 2 upsets happen. And again, Green Bay beating Carolina would not be an upset. I don't know, but I would still consider that to be Carolina beating Green Bay. I would say that's probably what the odds makers are going to give Carolina the upper hand on that. But the other 2 would be definite upsets. Tampa Bay at home beating Atlanta on Monday night, and Detroit at home beating the Bears at 1 o'clock on Sunday. So those would be the bigger upsets. And, of course, the Cowboys beating the Raiders. If those 4 things happen this Sunday and Monday, then we control our own destiny if New Orleans beats Atlanta the following week. And supposedly they play before us as of right now. So if that occurs, and then we'll move that game to a night game, we just got to see if Atlanta loses New Orleans, which is very possible. in a revenge game. Breeze blew that other one for us. That really hurt. If that occurs, then guess what, guys? We control our own destiny when we play Seattle Seahawks next week. And that would be a Christmas Eve present as well, with getting Zeke back for the Dallas Cowboys. The worst thing we could do is then lose that game and then have no chance now to make the playoffs. So, obviously we don't want to count the chickens, but I'm just trying to break it down for you guys. That would be the earliest we can control our own destiny. And to me, as soon as we get that in our hands, we need to take advantage of that. We get Zeke back. If these things occur, man, you'll see me dancing live on stream here, guys. So, anyways, guys, let me see here. I'm going to go through the last couple of messages here, and then I got to take off. So let me see here, guys. Where I leave off. So Albury, win out, 1 Pack loss, 1 Lion loss, 2 Falcons or Panther losses. That one of those two teams have to lose 2. That's one way. Overall, that's the way it has to kind of end up being. But if these teams, we're seeing they're losing their games later on in this 3-game stretch. But if they get upset early, meaning if Atlanta loses to Tampa, and Green Bay happens to, they can lose to Carolina, but let's say Detroit slips and falls against the Bears, then those things would actually help us a lot, and if Atlanta somehow tumbles against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, now we know that Atlanta will, if they lose to New Orleans at 1 o'clock the following Sunday, when we play our game later in the afternoon against Seattle, we'll be in control of our own destiny. I know, still hard to do, but possible, and not out of the realm of believability the way this season has gone, guys, for all these teams. So how can we beat Philly? If Philly has nothing to play for, that'd be one sure way of beating Philly. But I still think that even if it's away, and even if they're having something to play for, they still have Nick Foles back there. And I think will be a good preview for us, a good test for us. That would be a playoff game for us. And that'd be a good test for us to if we beat the Eagles, watch out NFL, watch out NFC, because we're coming. If we get to that point, let's see what happens. Of course, guys, if all these other teams lose 2 games, like if the Green Bay loses 2 games, Detroit loses 2 games, Carolina and the Falcons somehow lose 2 games as well, we actually could probably lose 1 and still control our own destiny. But I'm not going to go into that. That's crazy numbers and that's crazy percentages. I'm not going to even want to think about. So yes, David Irving, I predict he will be back for this game, Cowboys 42. He's going to be practicing. He didn't practice today, but as you go back to the beginning of the stream, you can check out all the information. We talked about it over and over again, but I'll say it one more time. David Irving is going to practice tomorrow. That's the word. Tyron Smith, he'll probably be limited now. Make sure you understand that when it comes to David Irving, but the fact that he's back there, he already did some work today, some conditioning work out there. He was limited. Did not practice because he only did conditioning work. He didn't actually do a team practice. Tomorrow he should be limited in a team practice setting. Same thing with Tyron Smith. Same thing with La'el Collins. Maybe something similar with Orlando Scandrick, which I don't really want to see as fast. Let him take his time. Bryce Butler, not sure yet, but he's definitely expected to play this game. And an important player people might not talk about too much, but James Hanna, the tight end, he's our block, part of our offensive line in a way. He needs to be out there. He has a knee injury. Not sure how severe it is, so we'll update that tomorrow as well. But he is part of the offensive line connected. So we need him out there too because he's a good blocking tight end, and that's why he's with the Cowboys. So guys, thanks again. All right, we were so worried about injury. So we were worried about. As I said, I went through the whole list for you, LRB. Hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope you subbed up to my Cowboys family, guys. We're about 17, 18 subs away from getting to that 1K. It'll be fun, guys. We're gonna do a whole new thing. We're gonna have leaderboards. It's gonna be cool, guys. Competition never hurt anybody. And in my Cowboys family, that's where we do it. So we'll see. Looking forward to that, guys. Good night, Bobby J. Johnson, Jonathan Cook. How you doing? We do have a lot of work this offseason, but we have a whole offseason to talk about that. And we talk about it a lot already. I'm looking forward to hopeful changes and hopeful re-signees. 4 main guys I'm looking at, and that's Hitchens, D. Law, David Irving, and Zach Martin. We need to re-sign those 4, in my opinion, without question. So, all right, man. Sounds good. Sounds good, man. Awesome. I will. I trust you guys, man. It's all good. Thank you for subbing up. Cesar Duarte, how you doing? You caught us at the end of the stream. But much love to everybody. I think I've been here for almost an hour, if not over an hour. An hour and 5 minutes, guys. So much love. I had a lot of fun on here tonight again. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned some stuff here on this stream about where we're at And guys, we do this daily, so you know what to do, guys. Hit that thumbs up, all right, on the stream. It helps the channel. If you want to donate, guys, it's just optional, guys. You guys are donating a lot with your comments and questions. I appreciate that. But you can watch our ads, that come up. That definitely helps us. Pennies end up getting microphones. So we appreciate that as a Patreon account, as you can see right there. You can check that out if you want to contribute something, just on a monthly basis or just a one-time way thing. And we have chat, that super chat coming soon, so that'll be fun. In the meantime, guys, hit that like button. If you're new, of course, hit subscribe if you're new, guys. Never forget that. That's important. We're almost at 1,000. And never forget to hit that notification bell. We do a lot of go lives. Probably my fiance will do it tomorrow again. Even update on what's going on with practice with David Irving. No setbacks to Bailey, but the offensive line, Smith and Collins, and the whole crew we just talked about, guys, Scandrick and so on and so forth, all the way down to James Hanna and Bryce Butler. So, guys, we're gonna roll with it tomorrow. Keep that notification bell on, so you get that, you get these, and you get our Madden streams when we do them through the computer. Through the PlayStation 4, and our game day live stream, guys. I can't wait for this game against the Raiders, and I hope things work out right for us in the earlier games. If we get those things, but guys, you never know. It's just another step closer. So that's what we want, guys. We still got a chance. Anyways, guys, much appreciated for everybody on this stream. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, and never, ever, 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 ever forget what it's all about. You know what I want to say. Go Cowboys! Woo! Peace, guys. Stay safe. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace out, guys. Good night. Go Cowboys.